You thought you found a strong man, but he sells his body online, to strangers, for attention, for money. You imagined building a future with him, but how do you build a home with someone who sold their soul to survive? You think it's no big deal. Wait until your child finds his photos. Wait until your father asks what he really does. Wait until you realize you didn't marry a man. You married a brand, a product, a lie. And now you'll spend your life wondering what happened to real men while sleeping next to one who gave his manhood away for likes. He sells his body, not his soul. Or so you think. He tells you it's just work, that it's just content, that it doesn't mean anything. But every click, every message, every tip from a stranger takes something from him. Bit by bit, he becomes hollow, smiling for the camera, but dead inside. You see confidence, but underneath, it's insecurity wrapped in abs and filters. A man who can't build a real legacy, so he sells a fantasy instead. You think you're getting a provider, but you're getting a performer. A man trained to chase approval, not protect a home, and you'll feel it every time he picks up his phone, every time he looks in the mirror, every time you ask, is this the man I'm building my life with? Your child will Google his father one day. You can hide the truth from your friends. You can pretend with your family, but you can't lie to time. One day your child will grow up, and one search, one click, will show them who their father really was. Not a protector, not a leader, not a man they can look up to, but a performer, a product, a man with a price tag. How do you explain that to your son, to your daughter? How do you say, yes, your father sold himself to stranger because we needed money, because he thought it was okay, because we didn't know better? They won't understand. They'll just remember, and every memory will be stained. You thought you were building a family, but all you built was a shame they'll carry for life. He looks like a man, but he's not. He lifts weights. He has the jawline, the tattoos, the deep voice, but masculinity isn't in the muscles. It's in the mission. And a man with no mission is just a decoration. Nice to look at, but useless when life gets hard. He knows how to perform, how to seduce, how to get attention, but not how to lead, protect, or build. Because when you train a man to survive by showing skin, you kill the part of him that knows how to stand in fire for the people he loves. You didn't get a man, you got a mask. And eventually masks fall off. And what's underneath is never strong enough to carry a family. The double standard no one wants to admit. Let's be honest, society celebrates men who sleep with dozens of women. They're called players, alphas, legends. But a woman who does the same, she's damaged, dirty, not wife material. And here's the uncomfortable truth. Both are wrong. Promiscuity doesn't make a man powerful. It makes him empty. Just like it doesn't make a woman worthless, it makes her lost. The culture lied to both of us. And now we're stuck in a generation where everyone is performing and no one is building. This video isn't about judging women only. It's about holding men accountable too. If you sell your body, you sell your future. Period. Fame fades, legacy doesn't. You might get famous. Thousands may follow you. Your body, your smile, your voice, all over the internet. But behind every like, there's someone who pities you. Behind every compliment, there's someone who sees the emptiness in your eyes. And even if you say, I don't care what people think, your reputation will still outlive you. When you die, your content stays. Your name stays. Your shame stays. Shakespeare once said, a good reputation is the most valuable thing a man can own because it will live longer than he does. And if all you leave behind is skin and noise, Don't be surprised when the world remembers you as just that. It's hard to be a father when your son doesn't respect you. It's hard to be a father, not because children are difficult, but because being a man your child can look up to takes more than money, more than food, more than just being there. How do you tell your son not to smoke when you smell like cigarettes? He may listen while he's a child, but one day he'll grow up and look you in the eye and say, "Why should I listen to you? You never listen to yourself." And just like that, your authority dies, not with a fight, but with a sentence. Maybe you'll get lucky. Maybe your child will be smart enough to see right from wrong, even when you weren't. But you won't get the credit, you won't get the respect, you'll just be the man he didn't want to become. You see, any man can get a woman pregnant, but not every man deserves to be called dad. Being a father isn't about blood, it's about who you are, when they're watching. And if all you teach them is how to perform, how to pose, how to sell, don't ask why they don't run to you when life gets hard. You taught them how to act, but not how to be. 5 problems you'll face if you marry a man on OnlyFans. 1. You'll never feel truly secure. He gets constant attention from strangers, flirty comments, private messages, requests. And no matter how confident you are, a small part of you will always wonder, am I enough? That's not love. That's slow emotional torture. 2. You'll start to lose respect for him. At first, you might convince yourself it's just business, but deep down, something will feel wrong. You'll look at him and see a man who sold his body, not for survival, but for attention. How do you admire that? 3. You can't build a real future. One day you'll have kids, and they'll have the internet. What will you tell them when they find their father's photos? What will they call him? Dad or content? 4. You'll always be compared to the internet. Every woman who comments, every fan who tips him, becomes part of your relationship. You're not his priority. You're part of the performance. 5. You'll question yourself more than him. You'll lie awake wondering, is this my fault? Did I settle? Why did I think I could build something real with someone who's still selling himself to strangers? And when that thought hits you, it doesn't leave. If you've made it this far, maybe it's because something deep inside you agrees, but no one ever said it out loud. We live in a world where truth is buried, where masculinity is mocked, and where selling yourself is celebrated. But not here. Here, we talk about what really matters. We say the things you felt, but we're too afraid to admit. So if this message speaks to you, if you've ever looked around and thought, the world's lost its mind, then this channel might be the only place where your voice truly belongs. Hit like, share this episode with someone who needs to wake up, and subscribe, not just for more videos, but to be part of a movement that's not afraid to stand alone. You weren't meant to fit in. You were meant to see clearly, and maybe, just maybe, to lead.